Hey, it's Linda. And basically, I want to celebrate with you. Come and celebrate with me and enter to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Okay. Basically, all you have to do in order to enter is send me an email with a screenshot of you sharing Monetizing Mompreneur podcast. That's all you got to do. So whether you share it on your social channel or in Facebook or text, they all count. Just send it to my email and you'll be enrolled for a chance to win. Now, how will you know if you're a winner? Join me on Monday live at 7 p.m. and I will be announcing the winner via FB group. So join Monetizing Mompreneur Facebook group and I'll be announcing the winner and I'll be sending you the gift card via email. So take a screenshot of whoever you shared it to, and however many times you share it is an entry. And I can't wait to see who wins. I hope it's you. So share with your friends, share. And woo, 100 episodes. We made it. Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable. Welcome, Biz Bestie. Let's talk about website mistakes that are costing you. So, I've been a web designer for some time now, and I have seen everything wrong that can go wrong under the sun when it comes to a website. And some people honestly don't understand what makes conversions, what allows someone to fill out that contact form, what allows someone to get on your schedule and all of that. And your website can do all of that if you do a great marketing and also if you do a great layout within your website. Sometimes the people that are looking for you and they land on your site, and if it articulates exactly what they are needing help with, they will contact you. They will sign a contact form. They will get on your email list. I'm going to take you through a mini audit. So I'm going to let you decide this about your website. Number one, I want to say this. How do you expect people to invest in you when you haven't even invested in yourself? Let me explain. There are a lot of people out there that want to have their online business to work, right? But their sites are terrible. You can tell that they pretty much got, scotch tape, some duct tape, and slapped that thing together with the craziest fonts and colors, and that it just does not flow. And they think because they're good at what they do and they're trustworthy, that of course people can see that straight from the website. That's wrong. People can't see that. People can only see the investment that you've made in yourself. And why should they also invest in you when you haven't even invested in yourself? And you can articulate that investment, whether it's in sweat equity or hiring a designer. So the number one question I'm going to ask you, does your website look like money? No, let me rephrase that. Does your website look professional? Do you have a professional looking website, or do you have a website that looks like a 2010 blog? What type of website do you have? Because just having a blog and saying that's your small business, online business is not going to cut it. And having a website without a blog sometimes is not going to cut it, because a blog is something important to have. And I will be discussing that later on in this mini audit that we're taking you through. Okay. So, does your website look professional? Does it look shiny and new? Does it look relevant? Does it look like you know what you're doing? Does it represent you well? Are you able to share this with others? Are you able to share your website socially and not cringe when you share it? So, did you know that it takes visitors around 3 seconds for them to know if your site is something that they want to go to? Did you know? It takes 3 seconds. So if your design is looking flimsy or it's looking like pieced together, and it doesn't look professional, it's going to reflect in your conversions and your sales. So if you're wondering why I'm not making any sales, or if you're wondering why nobody has contacted me for my services, then your answer could be that it just doesn't look good. And I'm sorry to say, but online marketing and online business, and where you're trying to monetize, looking good is part of the business. So design is an amazing investment. So hiring the right designer as well. I recommend that you have a professional outline design. Now, another thing that's going to help in conversions is going to be your copy. Because if your design looks amazing, but you have horrible copy that is just very robotic and, you know, looking like Chat GPT, you get what I'm saying, is looking AI-ish, people are gonna run, like, because it is not making sense. So you have to have a website that is using your client's verbiage, what they would use, terms within your industry that they would understand, right? And, like one of the terms in online business is ROI. ROI means return on investment, right? And depending on how far in the game the person is, I may want to use ROI in certain sales pages, right? So, considering what your business does, you got to consider your copy. Now, I like using ChatGPT, don't get me wrong, because I love it, but don't use it word for word. One of the things that you can do is you can actually kind of like use certain prompts to help ChatGPT talk more like you would and as your clients would. And that's another episode entirely. All right. So, another thing is there a call to action when someone lands on your page? This is pretty much your elevator pitch. And if you're having problems with your elevator pitch, come into the society. I have a small mini training on what you can do to have an amazing elevator pitch that you can use in your banners, that you can use in your social media and all these other outlets. But I really want you to consider, when people straight up land on your page, can they know who you are, who you're for, and what you do? Because this is really, really important in effectively converting visitors into customers. So, do you have a clear call to action or a clear message, right? Because different brands represent different things. Now, if you're a brick and mortar and maybe you're dabbling in within the online space as well, but if you're wanting people to contact you in order to book certain things, then does your site have a contact number like straight up on the top? That's kind of like important, especially if you want to get more sales and more people coming in through your doors. Another thing, is it obvious what your business does? This is where a lot of people miss it. And not only does it have to be obvious, but it has to represent the brand. Now, for small businesses, and this is what a lot of people get wrong, and I'm actually working with a client right now on this. When it comes to a small business, they believe that they need to look like a large company in order to book sales. But the large company, you have to understand, they have already established their network. They have already established their credibility. They are known for something versus your small business owner getting into the game, right? Are you known? If not, then I would definitely recommend having it more personalized because when it comes to a small business, people want to know the business owner, right? Because you're the one making the connections. You're the one that people are going to be working with. And maybe you have a small team that they'll be working with as well, but you've really got to personalize this website that really reflects on what it is they're receiving from you and if they're going to get that personal time with you. And you got to understand, what are you doing on the marketing? Is it going to be reels of you, talking, of you giving knowledge about what you're an expert in? And if so, when they land on your website, does it represent what you're putting out there in your marketing? And vice versa. So don't try to look so big, like you're a huge company. I feel like that's a big mistake if you're a small business owner. And if you are a huge company, then I would say is, do you represent your clientele well and professionally that they would want to send it? Because, if you're a business to business, that they want to send it to their business pals, right? So it's all about like the shareable. Is your site shareable within your clientele and who you're working with and understanding who you're working with and they want to be spoken to a certain way? Really understand them and represent that within your website. Another thing that people miss the mark in is there's not like a CTA. There's not like this primary action for visitors to make. Basically, do you want people to subscribe? Do you want people to book a chat with you? Do you want people to book with you? Do you want people, what do you want people to do? Like the first, like there should be a number one thing you want your website to do and where you want people to go when they land on your website. And a lot of people miss this, instead of making it clear, they hide everything on how I think what it is kind of like those money blocks, self-sabotaging. Sometimes you self-sabotage yourself there. So I would say, are you self-sabotaging? What is the primary action you want them to take? That should be the CTA, the call to action. And they should, get that like where to go immediately. Now, there's also a secondary call to action. And that's basically, well, let's say they don't want to book right away, but they want to get into your world. What would be that next place? Maybe it would be to subscribe, right? Maybe you want them to book a chat with you and then you want them to subscribe, right? So really make it clear on the first step and the next step, right? And another one that people miss the mark on is their navigation. Why do you have 20 drop downs? Seriously. I do not understand how you can have so many drop downs. Decision fatigue is a real thing. You really want it simple. You really want the information that you want people to gain ridiculously simple. You don't want a lot of links. There's a lot of links that you want if you want to put like all the links and all the things that you offer, the bottom, the footer. That's where a lot of the links should be, the footer. Because people always scroll down to the footer. If they're really invested, they do look at your footer. I look at many footers. And usually I do that to look at somebody's social media because nobody's putting it up on the top. Like, come on, some of y'all got to put your social media at the top. So it just could be a lot easier. I mean, shoot, even I don't have it at the top, so I get it. But another place to find a social media is at the bottom. So footers are really, really important. So instead of having all those links in the top of your website and having so many drop downs, why don't you consider a lot of it being on the footer? It will save your people's time because they won't be scrambling on where should I go? Where do I need to go? How come there's so many options? Decision fatigue, decision fatigue, decision fatigue. I said it 3 times because I want you to know that it's a real thing. Another thing, this is going to be the last one that I go over, is if you are serving people, right, and you're online business owner, where's your testimonials? How come they're not on your site? Do you know how powerful testimonials are? Like whatever you do, if you're starting your business, please make it a habit of getting testimonials. It's a big deal. Testimonials really allow the person that's on the fence make that decision to get into your world or make the decision that maybe you're not the right person. Hey, you don't want what is it? A nightmare client. You want the dream clients, right? Testimonials will also allow your dream clients to know if you're the right person. And that verbiage that you're getting the testimonials from, that's the same verbiage that your clients use. And so people are seeing themselves within those testimonials. That's what they want too. They want those testimonials for themselves too, right? So they're seeing themselves in there and they're seeing light at the end of the tunnel. So you're giving them that. So these are some things that you're probably missing the mark on, and it's totally costing you. And if you want me to go a little bit deeper with you or your website, or you want a more personalized review of your website, hey, go over to lindamendable.com/VIP. And I am currently offering website audits. You can go ahead and book your audit, and I will definitely give you a thorough form on the things that may be costing you, the tweaks that you can make, And maybe you want to have a refresh. I have a special web design refresh. It's not a full web design that maybe you just need to sit down for 3 hours with me and we can knock out some of those things that can really make a difference and help people convert, because that's what you want. You want to make people say yes. You want to make people fill out that form or shop, right? So I would love to work with you. Go over to lindamendable.com/VIP and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com and join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.